Hello, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button, and I sustainably craft a junk journal and slow stitch. If you've not been here before, I filmed another video this morning that was a design team project, and I think I'll probably put that out tomorrow. But this I'm going to put out today. It's Sunday. I'm going to alter this purse. I want to make it long. This is inspired by Kate in the Nest. She is an Australian slow stitcher and junk journaler, and that's what I like, because I junk journal and a slow stitch. Before I cut that, I'll explain what I'm going to do. And she bought a purse, and then she sort of Kateified it, kind of did her sort of collage on, and I feel I'm at the very beginning of my collage journey. And I have this purse, and I have numerous other ones as well that I've just had over the years, and they've been popped in a box. And I thought, well, I like this purse, but actually what I want to make is a scissor keep. So I need to make it so it's that long, sort of, at least. And obviously this isn't, so that's what we're going to do today. But yeah, I like Kate in the Nest just because she does the two things that I do. She has a different style and a different sense of just a different style, really. Different taste, different way of doing things, and I like that too. I'm going to cut this with a pinking shears. And it's always nice to find other people that do similar things to you or have similar sensibilities. Okay, so that's the inside. We're going to probably use that. But now we've got like an open purse. So we're just going to make it bigger, she said. Not quite sure how we're going to do that. But let's do it together, shall we? So I have on the table, I have this. I should explain. Where's my bag? Where did I put it? I have this, and I have a crafting tote that I've put down and mislaid already. And there's not that many spaces to mislay things. Here it is. I'm in the middle of a craft room refresh. And so things are a little bit in disarray. So this is my craft tote, and it's just a pair of jeans that I've put a sort of circular bottom onto it, and handles made out of the legs. I've kept the pockets, but I've put, like, this is a toile material, and then we've got this gingham, like large check gingham. There's a ribbon going round. This is one of my little butterflies. I make butterflies and things. Some flowers, some like more butterflies, some flowers with some stitch marking onto it. It needs more work doing to it. It needs like the layers of stuff kind of putting on, but it's a great start. And the idea for this is that I slow stitch generally sat on my sofa, and it's like first thing in the morning, particularly in the summer, it's first thing in the morning. Pop that down there. And I just work on different things. I'm sat on a cushion that I made this week. Not everything I make is going to be put on in front of a camera, but yeah, it's just nice to have something to carry things in. So I have this as well that goes inside that tote. This is all my vintage cottons and some modern cottons as well, and other scraps and bits and pieces. So that goes in, and again that has the toile and the gingham ribbon. And there's some other bits and pieces I want to put on there as well. I've stamped on some fabric. So I have a pin cushion, one of my strawberry pin cushions. I've made this on the channel before. So is that. Although I am thinking I might put this pin cushion in. We might make this, replicate this. This is a pin cushion that came from a sewing cabinet, like a vintage sewing cabinet that I did a haul on last summer. So I think that might go more than the strawberry. But anyway, that's there. Sewing book. Needles in. Needle book. Again, handmade. This is ancient. long time ago, like when my daughter was a baby. I made that. So it's just to sort of add something to this little collection of stuff that I will have in my little bag and will take up and downstairs so I can do my sewing. So we need to extend this. So I'm going to put that there. Go through, I don't think I'm going to use the gingham. I have some scraps. So I think I'm going to use the scraps first. So I have this scrap. I'm hoping it's wide enough. It's not quite wide enough. Okay, but it is long enough. Okay, I'm just thinking. I quite like that. I have got some of the original denim left from the jeans. So that could go down one side. In fact, if I did it on the wider part, that could wrap round then, couldn't it? Okay. Should we do some snipping? So we've got that. We're gonna have to, I don't know if we are gonna line it. I think we probably are. But I'm not quite sure. Today is just about kind of roughly making it. Roughly putting it together. And seeing how we go. Now, do I want to add that onto the bottom? Oh, I might do that. What do we think? Can you see? That might work. So we're actually just extending it. So I've got some like plain, oh, it's had some stamping done, but I've got some plain stuff. I'll work out what I'm going to line it in. I might line it in the gingham. That sounds nice to do that. It's a nod to the rest of the collection of stuff. Let's do this. I should actually probably use my fabric scissors. These are the scissors I'm using at the moment. I do use for paper as well. They're just a good all-round scissor. But I should use my fabric scissors. Right, let's move some stuff out of the way so that we have some space. We can pin some things up. So how's your Sunday going? Mine's going okay. I had yesterday, I don't know if I want to undo that. I think I do. I do. Oh, see, that's better. Do you want to undo that stitching? I want all the stitching to be on the outside, so it's kind of like wrong sides together. That'll work. Shall we? But we said we wanted wrong sides together. Let's do it that way. Work out what we want. I'm just going to pin it together. We might not even get to do any stitching. We might literally just be pinning together, and then next time I'll have it sewn up and then we'll do a bit more. Hopefully I won't get carried away. I know tomorrow, Monday, I probably won't, because on Monday I generally just focus on getting all my stuff together. I have a case management meeting with my manager, so that's Monday's focusing on that. But then the rest of the week, in the mornings, everything's squared. I don't feel the need to switch my computer on earlier. I don't switch it on that early, but then if I am going to like switch it on to make sure my case management sheet's up to date, I kind of just want to relax as much as possible before then. So I like that. Are we doing? I think we are. We're kind of overlapping that. We're going to overlap that like that. I don't know if I like that piece of material. I am having a little route behind me for another basket of material. Oh! To see what I can just quickly get. Rescue myself from being stabbed in pins. I've got all kinds of things in this basket. There's like old rope, really ancient zips, some lining material that's probably really good for junk journaling but not so good for slow stitching. Got plastic bags that are full of like cut out pieces, unfinished needle books. It's one of those kind of catch-all. Oh no, I like that. That's nice material. Yeah, I'll put that to one side. I'm not so keen on the red for this project. A little scrap of silk. That's quite nice. It's kind of quilting. Oh, what's this brown? I don't know. If it was a different colour. So I've got Christmas stuff in here. I don't need that, and it needs to go, and it needs to be put away. Oh, this ticking's quite nice. That is generally something I use at Christmas, but it might work. I'll call it like that. Sorry about the shadow. When I did my move, I've had to lose my nice studio lights for now. Oh, that's nice. That might be the winner. But just because of PowerPoint situations that I need help with, basically. Oh, what's this? That's quite nice. We'll have that in the mix. We've got some robins. Shall we put a robin on? Yeah, we'll put a robin on. The robins are not just for Christmas, you know. They're for all year. Then I've got this kind of flowery stuff. And I've got some William Morris. It's kind of 2000s noughties does William Morris, I think. That's quite nice. I've got a big pile. I don't know if I need to dig any deeper, do I? Quick look. I like that. That's quite nice. I think that was what I made my wreath out of at Christmas. Felt. And what are you? Silk. What's this yellow? That's quite interesting. Okay. She says pulling everything down over. So yeah, I need to sort it all out. In my craft room, that is. Alright, so we've got a massive pile of bits and pieces. Because I don't think I like that. Now, isn't it strange? I like that stuff, but I don't like that in it. But that's alright. We have this. How long is the... because that might be the easy win. I think that's an easy win. I'm all for an easy win. It's still got its paper. I know people have told me I can soak it off. The thing is about me is I think I'm slightly ADHD. We have people who have ADHD in this house, and I lose interest very quickly in things. And if I had to soak out, it'll just get left in the bucket. I put things to soak in. Yeah. And I think at 50, I've worked out that that's how I am, and that's okay. So we've got that there. I'm wondering, I might just cut that piece of paper off actually. Yeah, I think I will. And it'll go in the junk journal pile. which is good. I'm making my design team project for Be Happy Stationery. That was the video I made this morning, and I carried on crafting with it after I stopped the video, and then I was like, oh, you should have just kept the video going. But sometimes, like I said, not everything's for the camera. I will show it to you though, because my brain's all over everywhere. So, oh, this is it, the work in progress. And there's these paper dolls, and I've kind of dressed the paper dolls. So that's the front cover. Isn't she a delight? Using my own painterly type paper. And then there's other types of dresses. The wedding one's my favourite one. That's quite nice. But it's this one. Look at that. Like a wedding dress. So yeah, so that's what I was doing this morning, and I just got carried away and fixated, which I think is probably another ADHD thing, but there we go. All our brains work differently. Right, let's get rid of that other bit of material, a bit of paper. Making sure I can keep in the screen. I do like, so the light, there is a light switched on here, it's just not very bright at all. So I have an overhead light on, and then it's cloudy, it's a mixture of cloudy outside. So I think that's probably like the windows to the side of me instead of behind me. Or in front of me, behind the camera. So I think I like that more. The denim. It's not, I'm doing all this, and it's hopefully it'll all get covered up with different bits and bobs, but you know, I've got to feel like it's the right thing before we start. Okay, pins. So yeah, so it's Friday, it's Sunday. And next week I've only got a 4-day week. Then I've got a week off. And I think we'll have some days out, but mostly we're just going to be pottering around, doing jobs, relaxing. I've been having some issues with like energy recently, and so I think I need like a proper decent break, because last time I had a break was Christmas, and there was things going on. I mean, there's always things going on. There's things going on now, like kind of with family. And I didn't feel that I had a break. I had time off work, but I didn't feel like I really had a break. Right, I'm gonna do that there, and then we'll trim that. And even these little scraps will be useful. The way I want it to sit is I might have to line this before I actually stitch it all together, but I kind of want it to sit. Do I want it to sit like that, or do I want it to sit? Let's take this edge off, because that's confusing me. Do I want that to be like a stripe down, or I think a stripe like that? There's lots of fiddling around. Now, there will be some more ease in this, because I've given myself a really big seam allowance that I don't think I need. And if there's not, we'll work that out. Okay, perhaps that could be part of the lining. That'd be nice as part of the lining. Alright, so I was going to play with that one, but I don't think I need to. And it is going to have some twirl on it. It's going to have some like panels of this. Kind of, I want it to have some of the similar elements of the other things in the bag. Okay, I'm going to make myself a drink if you don't mind. If I can open my bottle. Okay, so we have that. Are we going to do some stitching? Let's do some stitching. I think I'm just going to use actually a modern thread. I'm going to use a Gutterman, and it's in, oh, it doesn't have it colour numbers, which is 261, but it's a strong thread. Then I don't have to worry about it coming apart. Got loads of little clutch bags and things that I will never use again. A couple of years ago I had to go to an award ceremony because I got to the finals of these national awards for the industry I was involved in then, and I didn't have any evening wear stuff, so I had to buy a load of things. So there's a little clutch bag from that I know I'm just never going to use it again. Or I could upcycle it to the point where I could use it again and it would feel a lot more like me than something else. She said, biting her thread. I shouldn't do that. So yeah, I don't think this is the last one of these I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm just going to back stitch it. Back stitch it all the way back. And I probably do need a bit more of a seam allowance because this I can see, oh, it's coming apart. We're not going to back stitch it, we're going to whip stitch it so that it won't fall apart. This is not intended to be like a decorative stitch, it is just literally, let's get it so it holds together. Gluing our two bits of fabric together. We'll work out what we're going to have as a liner. I might just do some of that quilting fabric. So this colourful fabric is part of that big load. If you've watched my channel before, you would have heard I talked about during the pandemic, which I know is many moons ago, and yet not. I got a load of fabric samples from a scrap store in Cambridge that are subsequently closed down. And I'm literally just working my way through it. So I craft sustainably. There are like new, you've seen quilting weight fabrics and stuff, but they're all really old. I don't buy new things anymore. I don't buy single-use craft things anymore. So I buy, for my junk journaling, I buy glue and ink and markers and paint and stuff like that. But I don't buy stickers and rub-on transfers. And with the slow stitching, I mean, there isn't really much you can buy new other than like quilting fabric, I guess. But I don't buy and thread, so I haven't, like, even this thread just came from a stash. I think I've just stopped consuming Stop feeling the need to be buying things all the time. Now, I like a good walk around a craft shop more than anybody, and if I see something that I think is unusual, I will buy it. But there's reasons of like wanting to be thrifty, wanting to not overconsume for the planet, and for supporting systems that exploit people. Basically, I don't really like the idea of my fun damaging somebody else. So that's why I will not buy. I will rarely buy off Amazon. And I certainly have never bought anything from like Shein or Temu and stuff like that. It just doesn't feel like something I want to do. It's no judgment if you do that. That's absolutely fine, because it is a matter of personal choice. And I know the argument, like there's lots of arguments for, well, you're helping people, they still have their living. There's all kinds of arguments. And that's why it's very personal. Okay, last one. I've got my thimble in my bag. So, I like that. Yep, we will whip stitch the other one then. We'll have to change our thread at some point, but we can do that. I think what I'll do is I'll try to get as much construction as I've got done possibly, and then we will go to the fun bit of decorating it. So I will do as much as I can do today with you guys, and then I will do some more next week, and then we'll aim to put the decorations on and start building up the decorations. I don't think I'm going to manage much more with that. She said, doing things very cack-handedly. It's like filming for the camera and sewing on the camera. It's like doing things backwards. It's really strange. Oh, half an hour in already. That's because it's slow stitching. Don't feel like you've got very far. So I like the way I've sorted my room out. I like the layout. I just need to sort the electricity out. I live in a very it's not very old in English terms. I remember my brother, when he was a student, he lived in he did like construction management type stuff, and he drove around in an old Ford Angler. So in Harry Potter how they have that flying car, it was basically the same car. So a friend of his had a Morris Minor, and he had this Ford Angler. So they kind of had like these vintage cars, and they lived in a cottage. They also kind of shared this cottage that was owned by the coal board. So that's like coal mining industry, which used to be a big thing in Wigan. And then like Margaret Thatcher happened, so it stopped. But they used to live in this when they were students, and it was ridiculous. It was like £50 a month or something like that. Even in the 90s, that was a ridiculously cheap rent. And this cottage was like 500 years old. Stupidly old. So my house is nowhere near that old. My house is 100 years old. But it is generally, and it's a very working class house. It's not, I think it's obviously not like there was different grades of housing even back then, so it would have been a nicer working class house. It's on a main road, and the room sizes are not that big. In fact, my brother and my sister live next door but one to one another. She lives in a detached house and he lives in a terraced house, but it's quite close to a park, and they're both Victorian, and their rooms are bigger than our rooms. And obviously my little sister's house, because it's detached, is much bigger. This is a bit later. This is an Edwardian house, which is the next one after Victoria. So because of that, there's not really any electricity. It's all been retrofitted. And the electricity, I don't know why, they did it on the outside walls. So even in the main bedroom there are plugs on each side of the wall. But in this room, there is like one double plug, and it's on the outside wall. It's the wall behind me. So I don't know. I'm like, why things are still quite new, I could, in theory, swap everything around so that the desk is on the outside wall and the shelves that are behind me are on the inside wall, which is a possibility. Or I could get like an extension for one of the sockets and bring it around here, which is another possibility. I would still need to do that even if I move the shelves and the desk and swap the positioning over, because my printer is behind me on the shelves and I kind of need it there because it's not in the way. If I put the printer on this desk, it's quite a big thing. It's one of the eco tanks, and it's just big, and I'd just be like, well, that would take up all my desk, but I'd be back to having a little desk. Whereas here, I've got like that's to the halfway point. I've got the same, and even the edges off the camera, I've got the same distance again on the other side. It's like an old, we would call it a sideboard in the UK, but I think like in America they would call a buffet. So that's basically, the desk is a top off one of those units, and then two smaller tables underneath. It's very sort of like ramshackle and put together, but I don't mind that. I wanted to try it out, and I think, eventually I might go, you can get nice legs from IKEA. But I had everything I needed in the house. I didn't need to go and buy anything else. So I could do it on a budget of nothing. I literally haven't spent any money. I've even made a nice cushion for the chair I'm sitting on, using all things I had in the house, like the cushion, and then the cushion was part of the mattress topper that was on there was a single bed here. Right. I want to keep that needle in. So I want it like that, but I don't know why, for some reason. Slight curve to it, but I'm not bothered about that. That doesn't worry me. I'm sorry about the shadow. I will have to sort that out though. So we have lining material in here. So I'm going to pop it inside the lining material. Just open the purse up. And pin it down. It might not need lining actually. If it's lined at the top and at the very bottom where the scissors would be, it might not need. I'll have to see how's that worked out. It's not inside the lining. Have a fiddle around with it. Again, this feels like it's upside down. I would have this up close to me and be fiddling. The weather's turning. We've had like bright sunshine and blue skies for, I can't remember when it kind of, the last time it was overcast. It might actually rain, and I've got washing out. I'm hoping the rain will hold off and the washing will dry because it's windy. That would be really good. We hang our washing outside in this country. I know, it rains all the time and we do that. But it's so good for your clothes. And very good for the environment. And it's cheap. It's free energy. In fact, we've never had an electric dryer. My mum and dad, okay, we had like 4 children in my family growing up, so they had a dryer, which I can imagine that amount of children you do need. She has a dryer, of course, now because she's in like assisted living, sheltered accommodation. My mum, causing havoc, I should imagine. She's actually fighting the council. She's hilarious, my mother. So she's fighting the council. I'm going to just take this apart. Because they live in their assisted living, and she used to work, so I say this in a caveat with, she used to work with the homeless. But they're moving a homeless unit. And it's not like a drug-free homeless unit. Like, there'll be people with drug addictions and stuff. Again, she's worked with people with drug addictions, so she's not anti those type of people. But, you know, it's a sheltered, safe, secure environment. And this place will be literally next door to it. And they didn't consult the old people living in the units at all. So I think that's probably what they're more angry about, is the fact that nobody told them about it. It's just been done. Like the permission's been given. So she's taking on the council. They've got the papers involved, and it's a bit formidable, which is how I'd like to be when I'm nearing 80. Let's just check. Oh yeah, and then once I put that on as well, I can't quite believe that's come off. That's quite good. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Now, we're going to carry on with the grey while we're just stitching it in. Just moving my foot. I've got, oh, there we go, that's better. Yeah, let's carry on with the grey. I think this will be nice. I think it'll be really nice. We're having quite a relaxed day. I've sent Miles out to Aldi, which is like our nearest supermarket, but it's just basically like on the corner. It's like a block away. So it's like our corner shop. And we stopped doing really big shops because of that. And we just shop as and when we need it. And we found we don't waste as much food doing that. Who knew? So I've sent him out. I'm going to do the outside first, I think. Right, let's deal with this. There's going to be holes, and I'm going to deal with them as and when I come to them. That's what I've decided. So I do want, and I think whip stitch is the way, really. I don't know, I could backstitch it. It's not going to, backstitch might go quicker. But we'll just whip stitch this bit until we're on now. I don't even know why I bought this purse. Like I said, I've had it for years. I cannot remember buying it or why I bought it. I just know it's gone from house to house to house, and I've just sort of put it in a box and moved it, thinking, oh, that'll be useful one day. I think I might have bought it to put sort of, you know, period things in a handbag. It kind of seemed to be about that size. Okay, I'm feeling like I'm going through all the layers here, which is alright, because I don't think the inside's going to matter that much. It'll just be the continuous stitch underneath the back stitch. I think my projects are just mainly going to be around this tote bag, and I might start another one, which probably is not very exciting for YouTube, but it's kind of what I want to make. That's the whole point. You make stuff that you want to make. I might try having a look at some of my wearables and see if I can amend, but I'm on this weight loss journey. So I don't want to buy new clothes until I'm sure about what my shape will finally be. Which is alright. I can kind of make things work so far. I don't think I would be able to do the same thing next year. Well, hopefully. But certainly for this year I can just make it work. Okay. Oh, I like that. It's almost got like a gusset. Going round. Now I could have, because you can buy the actual sort of hoops. You can buy these. I could have done that, but why get something else when you've already got something that'll do? That's kind of my motto. Make, do and mend. Well, if you use what you have, you'll never need. That's an old saying, isn't it? And my mum used to always say, necessity is the mother of all invention. She used to make so many amazing stuff, like just sew things up from, I remember we used to have loads of Lego, just collected. 4 children will accumulate Lego. And it wasn't that expensive to buy back in the 80s and the 70s. And you could buy, there was always somebody who was giving Lego away. So, yeah, we had lots and lots of Lego. That stitch is a bit big, Linz, but we're not going to worry, there'll be things going over it. And we needed like boxes to put it in, and they didn't have, back then they didn't have all the things we have. Oh, I forgot about that needle. They just didn't have things like that. So she got some material, like plastic material, and made these cubes to keep the Lego in, and they were just a really simple cube, and they're like something you'd get in IKEA now. And that was when she used to be like a pattern cutter for a mill that made the sides of articulated lorries or haulage trucks, I think if you're in another country. Like heavy trucks. And other like industrial type things. Yeah, I remember. Then she'd just be like, oh, well, we need that. Let me do this. And I love it. That's kind of how I try to live my life. Thinking, what can I use that I already have before we go and buy something? And that's, you know, that's what I've done in this craft room. I've just sort of gone, right, what can I use? I'm just thinking, is it going to rain? It's gone really dark outside. We might need to just pin the other bit up and then I'll have to let you go so I can go and bring my washing in. So, here we go. I'm liking it though. I like it a lot. Where's that other needle? Let's get that other needle. My washing should be dry. It should be dry. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. I like that. Okay. I reckon I can pin it all up together. Hold it. Take that pin out, put it back in. So I think that smile's back. I can hear him coming back from Aldi now. I sent him out to get some chicken that I'm going to pop in the oven when I finish this. And some potatoes and fresh veg and stuff. Make a nice dinner. Oh, look at that. Let's have a look. Should we pull it out that way? See if we've got all of that attached under. Yeah, we do really. It's this bit, but I think that that'll be alright. Let's just use this thread. This will get some new. It's looking good. The Met Office, when I checked, it said 25% chance of rain, and that sky looks very, very cloudy. Outside, I think there's a bit more chance than 25%. So I'm a little bit worried and distracted by that. Okay. I didn't put a knot in, did I? See, I am very distracted. Just want to secure it. That's all. I don't want to put anything structural in. Just want to secure it so that when I go to stitch on the other side, I'll be able to stitch through all the layers and not slip. So I'm going to actually take that out. Thinking on the fly. Take that out. Have that already been stitched in? Yep, but that's alright, because it's not going to be stitched in anymore. If I can bring that washing in and it not rain on it, that would be 3 loads of washing that's been washed and dried today, which I think is quite good. It basically sets us up for the week. There's always more washing to be done, but thinking about essentials. Lil's on her Easter holidays, so she's not out every day. That's helpful. Okay. I hope you see what I'm doing, because I couldn't think it through and explain it to you at the same time. But I just want to put a few stitches in to this lining bit so that I can pin the other bit on, knowing that this is actually all still attached. And then I'm just going to put some sort of basting back stitches, if that's the right phrase, in to make sure everything's caught, because I can't think of another way around doing it really. What would you have done? Would you have done something completely different? Would you have not bothered using the end bit? Always look for learning new things. There's probably an easier way to do this than what my brain's just told me would be the easiest way. There we go. I think we might be onto a winner. Let's take that needle out. Pin out. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, take that pin out, pull it all back through. Check for the rain, it's not raining. Right, I'm going to pin this together and then I am going to let you go because I don't want to push it with the rain, and we're nearly at an hour. But I think you've seen what I've done and how to get around that little tip of a lining bit. Another So I will go away and stitch this up, the rest of this up, and then the next time you see this, it will be stitched up, and it'll be about decorating it. Let me shake it off. Yeah. I'm quite excited. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to transform this purse. I think it was a coin purse originally. That's probably what it was advertised as. But we'll be adding the twirl on. We'll be putting some butterflies. All the random things. Making it work. And then it will become a scissor keep. So I'm able to put like scissors in here, and then they don't poke you, or you don't cut your other projects. And I've got some little snips somewhere that are in here that nearly snipped a load of my thread up the other day. Now I might need to make a pocket for the snips on the front. Shall we do that? Oh, let's have a little think, and then I will go. I have these. These would be perfect. So these are left over from when I used to do craft markets. And it would still have that jean element. So I could have a pocket on the front or something. Keep snips in. What do we think about that? There we go. Right then, I'm going to go and bring my washing in because it will be dry. It's had 3 hours out there. That's enough time for it to dry. And the sky looks now very dark grey. So I'm going to go and do that. If you've stayed this long, thank you. That really helps my little channel grow. And you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell, doing all the things that help my little channel grow. I really appreciate you being with me and crafting in company with me. Let me know in the comments, are you stitching along with me, or am I on just in the background somewhere on the TV? I know when I'm working and I'm not speaking to clients, I have a YouTube video that's creative on in the background, so that like, when I'm typing my notes, I can just keep glancing over and seeing whatever somebody's beautifulness they have on their desk, and it kind of helps me get through the day. I work from home mostly, so that's why I can do that. Obviously I wouldn't be able to do that when I'm in my office. Alright then, talk to you soon. Bye bye.